Gordon Ramsay and controversy have been inextricably linked since the potty-mouthed celebrity chef took over London's culinary scene in the 1990s. The tabloids have had a field day covering Ramsay's exploits over the years, which have included lawsuits, allegations of shady dealings at his restaurants, and claims that he faked his TV shows. Throw in allegations of cultural appropriation, racist remarks, ripoffs, and randy rudeness to a sexy female TV star during an infamous talk show appearance, and you've only scratched the surface of the scandalous chef who builds an empire on good food and bad behavior. Keep watching this video till the very end to find out how Ramsay got in big trouble after insulting the Australian TV host. There has rarely been a dull moment for the perpetually hot-headed star of shows like Kitchen Nightmares, Masterchef, and others. What was the worst episode of his show Kitchen Nightmares in your opinion? Do let us know in the comments. Gordon Ramsay was chastised for his creepy remarks about a female broadcaster. Gordon Ramsay almost caused a global outrage when he publicly insulted an Australian female broadcaster. During a live appearance in Melbourne, Australia in 2009, Ramsay displayed a photoshopped image of a naked woman on all fours with multiple breasts and a pig's face, stating that Tracy Grimshaw. I had an interview with her yesterday. Holy crap, she needs to see Simon Cowell's Botox doctor. He also claimed she was a lesbian. Obviously, Gordon thinks that any woman who doesn't find him attractive must be gay. For the record, I don't, and I'm not, responded Grimshaw on her show, reported the Sydney Morning Herald. I'm not going to sit meekly and let some arrogant narcissist bully me. Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd chimed in, calling Ramsay's remarks a new form of lowlife. I just think that's often offensive. Good on Tracy Grimshaw for coming out and giving him a left uppercut. Ramsay's spokesperson later apologized, admitting that his intention was to make a joke, but that with hindsight, he realizes that his comments were inappropriate and offensive. Ramsay told Australia's 9 Network that his mother had called him to find out what had happened. When your mom rings you and it's, a bollocking down the telephone, then of course you start to get the picture, Ramsay said, adding that he was mortified over how far the situation had gone and that humble pie is something I'll be eating for the rest of my life. When contacted by British media on Thursday, Ramsay's mother Helen Cosgrove denied ordering him to apologize and stated that she only learned about the row from media reports. I haven't spoken to Gordon since the weekend. He calls me every Saturday for a chat, she told reporters from her home in Taunton, Somerset. I certainly didn't tell him off about what he did in Australia. Ramsay has been part of several other scandals. Let's take a look at a few of them. Gordon Ramsay's swearing prompted an Australian lawmaker to call for new television regulations. While Gordon Ramsay's frequent profanity is censored on American television, his colorful language remains uncensored in Australia. According to The Hollywood Reporter, this piqued the interest of Australian legislators in 2008, when a single episode of Kitchen Nightmares was said to contain an astounding 80 F-words. Following numerous viewer complaints, an Australian senator launched an inquiry into the country's broadcasting standards, calling for stricter regulations. Australian TV broadcasters, according to THR, are self-regulated and adhere to a code of conduct registered with Australia's Communications and Media Authority. Ramsay responded to the backlash by telling critics of his show that if they are offended by his swearing, they can change the channel and watch something else. Turn over the TV channel, isn't it easier? He said in an interview with 9 Network, as reported by Associated Press. I don't mean to swear, it's just the Muppets I have to work with sometimes. He said of his tendency to unleash profanity on his TV shows. It's high pressure, high energy, and more importantly, real. That's how we keep it every day. Gordon Ramsay infuriated Scots by claiming to be English. Gordon Ramsay was only 5 years old when his family relocated to Stratford-upon-Avon, England, but he was born in Scotland. Ramsay may consider himself English, having spent the vast majority of his life there, but Scotland claims him as their own. This explains why a 2011 episode of Kitchen Nightmares sparked outrage in Ramsay's home country when he was seen conversing with the British-born owner of a failing Florida restaurant. Ramsay compared himself to the restaurateur, saying, "We're both English, we're both studied in Paris, but there's one thing we don't share in common. I care about my customers." He clearly doesn't care. The first part of the statement infuriated many Scots. Don Lawson, an Inverness politician, became so enraged that he demanded Ramsay apologize to the people of Scotland. If he'd said this a few hundred years ago, he'd have his head chopped off, Lawson declared, emphasizing that Ramsay should always remember where he came from, even if some of his American TV audience doesn't know the difference between Scottish, English, and Chinese. Gordon Ramsay refuted Chef Marcus Samuelson's racist rant claim. Chef Marcus Samuelson dislikes Gordon Ramsay and writes about a conversation with the Hell's Kitchen star in his 2012 memoir, which allegedly ended with racist remarks. Samuelson wrote in his book Yes Chef about answering the phone and hearing the voice of an enraged Ramsay, who was apparently upset that Samuelson did not name him when asked which chefs he admired. About 5 minutes of yelling, wrote Samuelson, Ramsay ended his rant with these words, "I'm going to make sure you have a fucking miserable time here. This is my city, you hear? Good luck, you black bastard." Ramsay denied Samuelson's claim and responded via spokesperson. "We're shocked by these completely false and extremely offensive accusations," said the statement, suggesting, "We can only think these malicious comments have been made in order to garner publicity for Mr. Samuelson's book and promising to pursue such actions as we deem appropriate against Mr. Samuelson and his publishers." Samuelson, on the other hand, did not back down. Mr. Samuelson stands by his statement regarding Mr. Ramsay and has no further comment, read a statement from his publisher, Random House. Gordon Ramsay was accused of stealing Anthony Bourdain's idea. Anthony Bourdain was a television pioneer with shows like No Reservations and Parts Unknown, which featured the intrepid celebrity chef exploring foreign cultures and sampling exotic cuisine in far-flung locales around the world. In 2019, just a few months after Bourdain's tragic 2018 death, the National Geographic Channel announced a new series starring Gordon Ramsay with a nearly identical premise. When Gordon Ramsay Uncharted was announced, Bourdain's fans accused Ramsay of stealing the idea. Many Twitter users slammed Ramsay, including celebrity chef Eddie Huang, who tweeted, "The last thing the food world needs right now is Gordon Ramsay going to foreign countries showing locals he can cook their cuisines better than they can." Ramsay addressed the controversy during an appearance at the Television Critics Association press tour, according to ET Canada. "We took a lot of flack on the announcements with Nat Geo about rivaling Tony Bourdain, and that was incorrect," Ramsay said. "Judge the program and the integrity and the team that's gone to hell and back to make this work." Gordon Ramsay faced backlash after making sexual remarks to Sofia Vergara. A video of Gordon Ramsay's 2010 Tonight Show appearance resurfaced in 2019 and sparked outrage for the celebrity chef due to his outrageous behavior and sexist attitude toward Modern Family's Sofia Vergara. Ramsay touches her on the arm and asks, "Only in the bedroom?" after she tells Leno that a scream she let out was all acting. In response, Vergara moves away with a pained expression on her face. Vergara later displays photos from a recent vacation, including one of her eating pizza. "You seem like you're enjoying that. You had a whole wedge in your mouth at one time. You haven't heard of a knife and fork?" Ramsay tells her after she insists you don't eat pizza with a knife and fork. Ramsay lewdly quips, "You just pick it up and stick it in." Things got worse when Ramsay tried her favorite Colombian treat, which she called a shit fudge, before spitting it out and telling her to take it back to Colombia. He also made fun of Vergara's son's name, Manolo, telling her it sounds like paint. Why Gordon Ramsay's Cornish neighbors call his extravagant mansion a monstrosity. Gordon Ramsay bought an oceanfront 5-bedroom home in the English seaside resort of Cornwall in 2015. He then demolished the property and began building 2 new structures, a mansion and a garden house, which is when the problem started. The new homes feature modern, box-like architecture that Ramsay's irritated neighbors have renamed a monstrosity resembling a stack of containers. Andrew Nisbet, Ramsay's next-door neighbor, told Cornwall Live that the chef made no effort to meet with neighbors about their concerns. Indeed, Nisbet stated that he attempted to contact Ramsay but received no response. Considering the scale of the development and the detrimental effect it'll have on the enjoyment of our property and others, Nisbet complains, "It is disappointing and demonstrates a lack of consideration for local residents' concerns." Another neighbor, Gerard Manley, shared his concerns about Ramsay's garden house. "The unnatural height increase of the garden will considerably alter an area of outstanding natural beauty," he said. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Do let us know your thoughts on this video in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content. See you in the next one.